Welcome to another Garland City Council update. I'm Dorothy White, and today we're in District 8 with Councilman Robert Smith. And welcome to our program, and welcome to everyone who's watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Y'all have got a lot going on in District 8. I know the biggest thing that City Council just completed was updating our district lines. You want to tell us how your District 8 constituents might be impacted by that?
Of course. District 8 actually had quite a number of changes this time around. We've been pretty steady for the last decade, but as of January 1st, Meadowlark and Rock Creek neighborhoods, which are between Forest Lane, Duck Creek, Miller Road, and Shiloh Road, will be a part of Council District 6. Councilmember Vera and I have been working on a few improvements in that area that we're not quite ready to announce, but I know that we're both very excited about them, and he will have the pleasure to announce them pretty soon. And while I'm losing those neighborhoods, District 8 is welcoming the areas bordered by Buckingham Road, Sam Houston Road, Halford Park, and Shiloh Road, which is around the North Garland High School area. And we're also getting the neighborhood bordered by Sam Houston Road, Beltline Road, North Garland Avenue, and Homestead Place. And that includes Fire Station 11. And most importantly, we get the Babe's Chicken up on the corner. So I'm personally very excited about that. And again, those new district lines will take effect on January 1.
Well, and it's also important to note, even though each council member represents a specific district, just like you mentioned with Councilman Vera, everyone works together, especially when you're working on projects that might go, straddle the lines, or whether it straddles the lines or not, that citizens in a different district are going to be utilizing these projects. So that spirit of cooperation is a big deal on our council.
Absolutely. And for those people who are used to texting me at, 2 a.m, I'm still going to return your texts. I may start looping in Mr. Vera on that, but, I know that there's going to be a period of adjustment. And the important thing to remember is that all of us represent you and we work on your behalf. And so, just feel free to reach out to whoever you're comfortable reaching out to, and we'll get the job done.
That's great. You've also got a lot of road construction going on in District 8. I know that's very exciting.
We have had a lot of road construction this past year, and we have another key project that's in the pipeline. Garland Road between Buckingham and Walnut Street has probably been the most visible. I remember complaining about driving that stretch road as a teenager in the 1990s, so it was very meaningful and close to me to get those repairs completed. After a very long negotiation process with Kansas City Southern Rail, we finally got approval to work on and complete the widening of the Buckingham and Levon intersection, yes, along with full replacement of the railroad tracks there. We've had great feedback from the residents on the finished product, and we've designed this one and all future railroad crossings in a way that make the long-term maintenance much, much easier. So hopefully we've set ourselves up for success in the future as well. This month, we begin working on Shiloh Road between Walnut Street and Buckingham. And I can tell you that I've gone through a number of front-end realignments thanks to that stretch of road, and very, very happy to get that done. Those repairs should be done by spring of 2022. And the biggest project, and certainly the most visible, has been the Naaman School Road rebuild. Right now we're moving utility lines, and I know that's a painful process for everybody, but those will be done within a month. And then we begin the process of rebuilding that road, both of the bridges and the railroad crossing, which should take about 2 years. We're looking at a groundbreaking of February 2022 and final completion in February of 2024. So it's going to be a long haul, but it'll be worth the wait.
It will. And I mean, we've got these types of projects going on all over town, and it is, the process itself may be irritating, but boy, when it's done, we're going to all be so much happier about it.
Absolutely.
So you've also got several bond projects you want to talk about. And I know the bond projects impact all of us, no matter what district they're in.
Yeah, and our 2019 bond program continues to go very well. You may have noticed that park playgrounds are being replaced all over the city. That's easily the most visible thing that's happening right now. And District 8 is getting a significant share of those replacements. Probably half of the playgrounds being replaced this time around are in District 8. Right now, PV Park has been closed and is under reconstruction. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from the residents in that area that they're really looking forward to the new playground. And that's the park just northwest of the intersection of Garland Avenue and Buckingham Road. We've got the new animal shelter coming along very well, which we did the groundbreaking on early this year. Police evidence room, which were the top two items in our bond package, and they'll be completed by early next year. We've got the dog park open at Central Park. The skate park will be open next year at Odin Park. Additionally, we've used a small portion of the economic development dollars that the voters approved in 2019 to help spur redevelopment of the medical district around the new VA hospital. And we've got a very strong future mapped out for that area. Most importantly, there are a lot of folks behind the scenes that make all of this happen, and they have pulled off miracles in keeping this bond program on track and on time, despite the pandemic, the material shortages, cost escalations, and I can't say enough good things about both the city management and the bond program management teams. They have done an amazing job in delivering these projects for our citizens, and if you're watching and you're a part of that, thank you. Thank you.
They really have. That is a nonstop process.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about, there was some one-time federal government funding that we distributed or made plans for just recently, the American Rescue Plan. You want to talk about those impacts?
Yeah, the American Rescue Plan, it's shortened to ARPA, is essentially a $53.5 million blank check from the federal government to spend on infrastructure. There are a lot of rules and regulations around how you're allowed to spend it and what you're allowed to spend it on and the timing, but it was part of a package that was signed into law March of this year by President Biden. The council met several times on this, and we opted to spend that money to first shore up public health and first responder services. We made investments in our parks, once again, to encourage outdoor activity. And because, frankly, it's easier to get park projects rolled out in a very short amount of time with minimal cost overrun while we're having these big spikes in construction material costs. And so we felt that we could get the best bang for our buck by taking that path. We've also addressed some smaller items like additional railroad crossings that we're trying to smooth out for everybody. We've retrofitted our emergency operations center with modern equipment, and a lot of filling a lot of gaps in. So, I think the key for this funding was that we knew it was a one-time check, and what we didn't want to do was set our citizens up to have to maintain new programs in the future. And so we've invested in things that we were already kind of putting money into. It was something we were used to handling. And it was just some things that wouldn't create financial liabilities down the road. So I think council has been very wise in how that they've invested this money, and we should see all of those projects start and finish in the next 2 to 5 years.
And that was part of the requirement of those funds too, was some of that time frame.
Absolutely. Yeah. I believe we have to have it all spent by 2026.
Yes. So you also had a unique role this last year chairing our city council's legislative affairs committee and being more involved in this 87th state legislative session. Talk about that.
Yeah. This year I was absolutely honored to be selected by Mayor LeMay to chair the council's legislative affairs committee. We tackled issues with the state of taxation, capital project financing, policing, and of course the legislation surrounding the winter storm and how it impacted both the citizens and Garland Power and Light. We're kind of unique among cities that we also run our own power company, and so we kind of dealt with that winter storm from every possible angle, and it was a very, very challenging experience, very difficult legislative session for everybody involved. We did have one bill that was passed specifically for Garland. It was a bipartisan effort between House Representative Angie Chen Button and State Senator Nathan Johnson. Representative Button authored HB 1558, which is a bill that gives us additional tools to help bring in affordable veteran housing in areas around the new VA hospital in future years. Both of our elected officials worked very hard to get that passed, initially out of their chambers, and then they worked hard again to get it through the reconciliation process and then onto the governor's desk where he signed it this year. So again, my appreciation to both of our elected officials, and they do have our sincere appreciation for helping us.
That's terrific to hear. That is terrific. Okay. This topic is one I'm almost loath to bring up. We do have term limits for our city council members in Garland, and you are in your third of 3 allowed consecutive terms.
Absolutely. Well, we know that when we're elected that we are just temporary stewards of the chair that we've been elected to, and that we serve at the pleasure of the citizens. And our city charter sets it to a maximum of 3 consecutive terms, and I've hit the end of that road. This past May was my final time on the ballot, and I'm in my last term, and I'll be replaced in May of 2023. Now, with that said, we still have an enormous amount of work to do over the next 18 months. I don't get to take a breather until it's over. But as my time here is winding down, let me just say with all sincerity that it has been an honor and a privilege to serve.
Well, and you have served so well. I can't imagine that you would not continue being involved in public service beyond your terms on council.
There are a few members of council and a mayor that may have threatened me with appointing me to other boards and commissions and giving me homework. So we'll see how all that plays out. I don't think I'm going to escape that easily.
No, I don't think you will either. And I don't think you could by nature anyway. You're one who wants to be involved and make a difference. So there you go. Yeah. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, that's my dog from the Garland Animal Shelter. So I will add.
Did you go to the little alumni thing?
I did. I was able to judge the competition at the brand new dog park. And that's my dog, Sammy, who I adopted from Garland Animal Services, telling me that UPS is somewhere in the city delivering a package. And she does that right on time every time. Thank you, Sam.
I loved having your special guest as part of this program.
Well, we appreciate you having us.
Well, thank you so much. And I want to remind your viewers, your constituents also, when you need news and information about the city, there's a lot of information on our city website, things you can subscribe to, the Garland Alert System, all the different Garland e-news options. I really encourage everybody to do that and stay up to date and learn the latest as we push it out. So thank you so much, Robert. I appreciate your time and I appreciate your service. And we will see all of you next time on the next Garland City Council Update.